I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, I have to tell you that truth is what it is. You cannot change it. You cannot describe it. You have to experience it, and you cannot pay for it. You can only discover it through the last breakthrough of your evolutionary process, which is living process, into a new awareness, into a new dimension. Now, whatever I'm telling you, please don't accept blindfolded. We have had enough problems with the blind faiths. If you do experience, if you do get the results of whatever I'm saying, you have to accept it as honest people, because it is for your good, for the good of your family, for the good of your country, for the good of the whole world. We talk of peace. From where does this war comes in? From where the ideas of fighting and quarreling comes in? It comes from your mind. Now look at this mind, what it is. I say it is a myth. Mind is a myth created by the reaction of your ego and your conditioning. It's like the froth, or you can say it like the bubbles on the shore of the ocean, which are brought forth by your thoughts and your reactions. But you can't stop it. When this mind is created, it again substantiates and supports your ego and your conditioning. It's like this. As we create a computer, and then the computer itself starts controlling us. In the same way, this mind starts creating us. Or we can say we create the watch, and then this watch starts controlling us. Now, all these thoughts are born through this mind of ours, which is nothing but the garbage we have gathered around by reacting to things. When we see very grotesque type of creation of films and things, and some also many so-called art, we are surprised from what brain it comes. There must be some rotten brains that are bringing it. But brain is reality, not the mind. They come out of the mind. So one has to understand that to get peace, we have to go beyond this mind. This mind is the one which reacts and creates problem for us, makes us believe into things, and we are conditioned. We are not free people. Free people to understand what is reality. The reality is beyond the mind. Now, how to cross the limit of mind? Like once a doctor in Switzerland said, "Mother, you do what you like, you can cut my throat, but stop these thoughts, they are bombarding me." You cannot stop. Because a thought rises and falls off, another thought rises and falls off. These thoughts come to us from the past or from the future. You are not in the present. You cannot be in the present. But when this power that is described to you already known as the Kundalini rises, then she takes your attention beyond the thought, beyond the mind, and that is the place where resides the present, the reality. Now this special thing as called as Kundalini is not to be discarded because coming from India. It has been described in every scripture. Even in the Bible it's described that I'll appear before you like tongues of flames. These are the tongues of flames you see along the path of the Kundalini. Also Muhammad Sahib has said very clearly in his Quran that if you want to know God, you must know yourself. Christ has said, know thyself. All of them have said the same thing. If you see Zen system or Lao Tse, Confucius, any one of them, they all said that unless and until you know yourself, you are not there. You have no identity. But knowing yourself is very important because you are the treasure of knowledge. You are the treasure of wisdom and divine discretion. It's all within you, which you should know without any efforts. Effortless, sahaja. Saha means with, ja means born. Born with you is the right to get your self-realization. It's your birthright to have it, and in these modern times, it has been made very, very easy somehow to get this realization. In our country also, all the saints have described about achievement of yourself. Sahaja word is used by so many saints, especially by Guru Nanaka, who says Sahaja Samadhi Labh. Whatever you have to get in your awareness, Samadhi is awareness, has to be in a Sahaj, means a spontaneous manner. So for this you don't have to stand on your head, you don't have to run away from your families, you don't have to starve or fast. You've done it. You've done it in your last lives. In this life, you should have the fruits of your hard work that you have put in to express your desire to be one with the divine. The first truth is that you are not this body, this mind, these conditionings, this ego, these emotions, but you are the pure spirit. The second truth is very much evident, but we are not bothered to know it. For example, you see these beautiful flowers, beautiful trees all around. It's a miracle. See, every tree is different, every seed is different, and all flowers are different, their fragrance is different. It's a miracle that is created, but we take it for granted. If you ask a doctor who runs your heart, he'll say it's autonomous nervous system. But who is this auto? Who is the one who does it? They don't know. At the most they can say it is autonomous nervous system. Beyond these systems, we have the system here of these three channels. And these three channels, left and right channel, look after your right and left sympathetic nervous system, which are responsible on the right side for your physical and mental activity, on the left hand side for your emotional activity. In the center, there are these two sympathetics. They form a loop like this, and the chakras, the centers, are created. These centers are responsible for our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being. But when we start exhausting whatever limited energy it has, then we start developing either physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual problems. If somehow we can save these centers from a state of jeopardy, we can solve the problem of physical problem, of say, mental problem, and also emotional, spiritual problem. Now, I must tell you that we have cured through Sahaja Yoga. I shouldn't say we have, because it's your own Kundalini which has done the job. People who suffered from blood cancer, people who have suffered from lots of incurable diseases. We don't have to go through the rigmarole of horrible diagnosis. You can diagnose a person on your fingertips, because these fingertips, 5, 6, and 7, are denoting your centers within yourself. They get enlightened. So with the light of the Spirit, when you are enlightened, you really become an enlightened person. It is not just a certificate, I am this, I am that. It is something that happens to your awareness. The first thing that happens, as I told you, you go beyond the mind, that you become thoughtlessly aware. In Sanskrit we call it Nirvichar Samadhi. It is an instant happening. Maybe the modern times are such that the Kundalini rises like a jet. And in thousands of people it has worked out. But to establish that situation of thoughtless awareness, you have to meditate at the most for 10 minutes in the evening. But immediately you will feel absolutely peaceful. You will feel like a witness of the whole drama that is going on. And with that drama, you will be able to see that there's nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be worried. Because you are out of that problem, you can solve it. Like if you are standing in the water, in the sea, and it's turbulent, you see the waves rising higher and higher, you are frightened. But supposing you can get into a boat, then you can watch the same scene with such attention and with enjoyment, because you know it cannot hurt you. But supposing you can jump into the sea because you are a great swimmer, you can save many others. So in the second state, where you become doubtlessly aware, you become all powerful, because you can give realizations to others. It's like one enlightened light or a candle can enlighten many candles. You can give realizations to many people. This